The first phase of a public inquiry into the 2017 Grenfell Tower disaster examined what happened on the night of the fire. The report points to systemic failings by the London Fire Brigade, including the so-called stay-put strategy, with residents ordered to remain in their flats as the blaze engulfed the building. But campaigners say the inquiry should have started with the safety of the building itself.
I think the inquiry took a determined route to get a determined outcome by starting in the middle, as opposed to starting at the beginning, then the middle and then the end.
Do you mean in terms of scapegoating the fire service?
Yeah, I do. I think it was inevitable if they started on the night that the firefighters were going to come out the worst.
Instead of the people you believe really responsible?
The big companies, the local authority, those the decision makers and those that made profit off Grenfell.
While damning in his criticism of the London Fire Brigade, Sir Martin Moore-Bick, the retired judge chairing the inquiry, did identify the cladding that was applied to the exterior of the building in a 2016 renovation with a highly combustible polyethylene core as the reason the fire spread so quickly. He recommended immediate safety improvements to buildings like Grenfell around the country. The London Fire Brigade Commissioner, who told the inquiry she would not have done anything differently, now says lessons have been learned.
Obviously, knowing what we know now about buildings covered in ACM cladding, clearly we are doing things differently and we will do things differently until all of that terrible cladding is removed.
A scene of horror.
And in Parliament, Prime Minister Boris Johnson said he would act on the facts, but there is scepticism on the ground after recommendations made following a similar high-rise fire in South London 10 years ago were never addressed.
My uncle, his name was Hisham Rahman, a 57-year-old man, lived in the top floor of Grenfell Tower, was told to stay put on several occasions, and sadly he lost his life because no one came for him. It's a good report, it's fair, it's strong, but we need to be very clear, it's not giving us justice. We are nowhere near that at this stage.
The end of phase 1 of the Grenfell inquiry is a welcome measure of progress for many of those affected. Phase 2, that begins next year, will delve deeper into what and who made Grenfell so vulnerable, bringing justice perhaps a little bit closer. Jonah, Al Jazeera, London.